Hello there, fellow YouTubers and fellow subscribers. I wanted to make this video as a sort of response to one of my friends who recently made a video. Bobby Gaines, he's a YouTuber who likes to do videos on the Red Sox, his beloved team, and he was talking about how the Boston Red Sox fired their manager, John Farrell, that I was pushing for. And I wanted to say to you, Bobby, that was a very well done video. I agreed with a lot of what you said, but I'm going to say this to you. The Red Sox need a St. Louis Cardinals style rebuild, I think. You see, a lot of people may not know that as much as I'm a Yankees fan, I don't dislike the Red Sox, but I also kind of like the Cardinals. And for the last 15 years, the St. Louis Cardinals have been the model franchise in the MLB. Always winning games, always making the playoffs, consistently fighting for the NL Central, and just flat out being a overall great team. When you win 2 World Series in 4 trips, okay, that's a 50% winning percentage, but you've done something right. And you look at their manager, Mike Matheny, who I admit I am not a Mike Matheny fan, okay? I don't like Mike Matheny. I think as a player, Mike Matheny was terrible. He completely, he was very bad, but the reason he relates to his players so much is because he was a player and, he wasn't that good. When you get managers like Cal Ripken Jr., Pete Rose, their problem is that they were so great at their job, it's hard for them to relate to people. And if you look at Boston, my problem with John Farrell was John Farrell never related to his players. This guy's a pitching coach. He's not exactly somebody who I felt got along with players. Now, you look at Brad Stevens over in Boston, and I am a Celtics fan, I will admit that. But Brad Stevens relates to his players so well because here you have a guy who came out of college, a Butler, who has a young group around him. This was a guy who coached young players his whole life, so he can relate to them very, very well. And I look at the Red Sox and I say the Red Sox need a steady hand like that. Get somebody who, may not be old, but get somebody like what the Cardinals do. You bring in a guy who can relate to players, who can build talent, who can, just overall relate to people. Because if you look at the Red Sox culture, this is a team that wants to win. They want to change perceptions of their team that, they're not a bad team. This was a team that for 86 years, to be honest, didn't win a World Series. And, not for lack of trying, but they just couldn't get over the hump no matter what they did. And I think that if you brought in a manager, like what the Cardinals have done, a guy that can relate to people, the Red Sox, I think, could be a consistent team for another 15 or so years. Look at a guy like Xander Bogaerts, Jackie Bradley Jr. Look at a guy like Mookie Betts. These guys would benefit so greatly from having the kind of manager that can relate to them, that can say, hey, we're going to work on certain skills to make you a better player than you are. What Boston should do is stack up on draft picks. The reason that the Cardinals have been so successful the last 15 years is because they have players in their farm system that they've brought up and they've grown themselves. Homegrown talent. That's what's made them so consistent. And I have never heard one bad thing about the Cardinals. And I think if the Red Sox went down that route, I think that Boston could be very, very successful. Even my beloved Yankees. I feel like we need to do that. Fire Joe Girardi. Bring in somebody who can relate to players, who can build talent, who can stockpile draft picks, who can build a team that's going to be consistent, not for a few years, but for long-term success. That's what I feel the Red Sox, and now throwing the Yankees, need. You need a St. Louis Cardinals-style rebuild of a team. If you can do that, then I think your fans will be a lot happier because then they know, hey, these two teams are building for the future. The future should be right now, not 5 years from now, not 10 years from now. And the thing is, Bobby, as I was watching your video, you brought up a lot of great points about what Red Sox management has done in the past. I feel like they need to fire John Henry and fire Ben Cherington and, bring in a whole new bunch of guys. Let new people run the show, people that have fresh faces. I don't like Brian Cashman. I think Brian Cashman needs to be fired. I think that Hal Steinbrenner needs to go. And we need to try with a whole new cadre of players. And if it was me, that's what I would do. Those are just my thoughts on the Red Sox, the Yankees, and what I feel they need. So, hope you all enjoy. And take care. And Good luck to the Dodgers and the Cubs and the Yankees and the Astros and the AL and NLCSs. Thank you guys. Have a great day.